Hello and welcome to another episode of the Football is Fixable Alright podcast. And we're joined with the full team again, lads. How are we? We alright?
Sounded like the jazz
from the Fast Show.
Jazz night.
Jazz special.
Yeah.
I just thought it might capture a new set of audience, you know, people going, oh, I like this.
A new set of audience.
A new set of audience. Yes.
Wow.
New set of
Yeah,
audience.
buy a new set.
Yeah. A suite.
Yeah,
What's
one-
happened to the old set?
No, this is
Oh,
jazz.
okay, but I'm getting a bit bored of them
suite,
now.
if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, welcome back, Cess.
Thank you.
We didn't miss you or anything, did we, Dan?
No, not. I missed you desperately. Thank you.
Wow.
You look so scared saying that. No, I didn't. I didn't miss you.
What do I say?
I did miss you, Cess.
I don't.
Yeah, I pay you on my podcast, so you better be careful there,
The
Dan.
fear in Dan's eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We share profits in our non-profit organisation, don't we?
We're not technically listed as a non-profit organisation, we should say,
No.
for tax reasons.
Non-voluntarily.
But yeah, it's not voluntary. Anyway, can I get us into an off the post?
Yeah, let's do it.
In my off the post this week, it's Match of the Day reporting something about Chelsea fans. Apparently they were upset and confused that a website partly owned by Chelsea chairman Todd Boehly offering tickets to the FA Cup semi-final at insane prices, up to £1,705. Whoa. But some of the comments underneath, one quite witty fan said, well, we could amortise that and pay £213 per year over an 8-year payment plan.
Still excessive, really, isn't it?
That is still actually quite a lot for a ticket, isn't it?
Yeah.
For 8 years as well, you're indebted to that.
You watch that one game and then for the next 8 years you're paying 200
Yeah.
something.
Another one said, got to make back some of that record-setting loss somehow. And
Yeah.
that's, again, quite maybe a highbrow response, but Chelsea are in quite a bit of financial trouble at the moment if you look at the profit and loss.
Yeah, but they'll get away with it with a little fine, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Another said, who the hell would pay that much to watch Garnacho? Dan, would you?
No, I would not.
He has.
Oh yeah, he does. He has. And there's my off the post.
Yeah, Chelsea would just get away with a little fine, wouldn't they? And then deduct Everton 10 points.
Well, I think they will accept that. And deduct Everton 10 points. Yeah, Chelsea definitely accept that. But it's even more clever, though, because that's the worst case scenario where what Chelsea are actually doing is they're part of a larger structure where their owners invest money into the club and then Chelsea just makes a loss. But according to their whole club, they're not making that loss anyway. And also, they charge their women's team all of the revenue that the women's team have made. They've taken all of that and put it into the Chelsea men's team pot.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
They'll do anything to manipulate and do their ridiculous strategy that they're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Speaking about Chelsea, today we're going to be talking about the worst fan base in Premier League.
Yeah.
Well, in football in general, maybe we should open it up and
Yeah.
we'll have to fix it. So I don't know. We haven't actually agreed on who the worst fans are. We haven't actually rehearsed this or anything. So we're going to learn from each other here what we think.
That's true. And I think what I have is definitely right.
Well, yeah, you would. But as we know, I'm the leader and I'm the one who will be making the final judgment. Dan?
There are lots of terrible fans. I know who my money on is for the worst, but we will wait and see.
Interesting. More specifically, though, we're going to look at also supporters, not just fans themselves, because I want to look into what is the role of a supporter as well, what makes them good or bad. So that's what we're going to get into today, fixing supporters. Right, where do we start then, chaps? Fan bases. Can I start?
Go for it.
Tottenham fans.
Here we go.
Just want to put them out there.
Yeah.
Bit delusional, aren't they?
Delusional?
Yep.
I think most of them are saying they're going to play in the Championship.
Well, they're going around that, you know, that spiral of emotions that you go through when you've had this tragic thing happen. Like, finally it gets to acceptance. But they've had to go on such a long journey
Like
to
the
get
stages
there.
of grief.
Stages of grief, that's
Right.
it. Yeah, and that's where they're at now. They're at that kind of acceptance where, oh, maybe you were right, maybe you're right, James.
Yeah, but that's not toxic or anything, is it? That's right.
I said delusional, not toxic.
Delusional.
So
what's their delusion then? If they've accepted where they are,
well, they are delusional because they think that Tottenham is a Big Six club. They're not, as we've previously proven. on our episodes.
I thought we proved that they are, because the big six isn't the top six.
Nope. Well, that's not what I agreed.
Right.
I'm not having that. Thank you very much.
Okay, what else then?
They think well, Daniel Levy said before he departed that he said this at the start of like last season or something, that Tottenham are competing to win the Champions League and the Premier League. Well, look at where that's got them.
Yep.
Did he say that they are competing or that they will compete?
They will be, or our goal is, or whatever it is. They're just hopeless.
Well, if that's their goal, that should be the goal for all clubs, shouldn't it?
I wanted to mention Spurs first because more of an honorary mention. I'm not saying they are necessarily the worst fan base, but another factor which has put them into my kind of consideration is when they were wishing that they would lose to Man City a couple of years ago, so that Man City could beat us to the league.
So just because Arsenal was involved, you decided to have a go at them?
Well, this is it. Getting into what is the role of a supporter. You should be support, and by the way, this is an important message for all football supporters out there. All fans should be, if they are actually a true fan, you support your team when you're doing well, when you're not doing well. You want your team to win, you don't want your team to lose, and all of that. So a supporter is someone who supports your team, not just when the times are good. So when Tottenham were going through that, they weren't really fighting for anything, but they would rather lose to Man City so that their rivals Arsenal wouldn't win the league. That is anti-support for me. What's the opposite to support?
This is exactly what I've been saying about all you football fan idiots. And I'm specifically looking at James, kind of Dan as well, but mostly James. There's this idea always, isn't there, of, oh yeah, but I want the opposition or the closest rivals or whatever to lose, and I want them to do badly. I want them to get relegated. And all of a sudden now, when Tottenham are saying, oh, no, they shouldn't do that. You did that, James.
No.
You were like, oh, yeah, I want to see Tottenham get relegated.
But
you had a smile on your face today when who was it?
Brighton equalised in the 90-something minute. Yep.
Exactly. You couldn't stop smiling.
That's funny. Watching rival clubs suffer is quite funny, and that can be part of it.
No, because you should be wanting the rivals to do well. The best scenario would be Arsenal to be the best team and Tottenham to be the second best team, so you could beat them to a title. You don't want it to just be every now and again you play them in the FA Cup because they're a championship team and you always beat them.
How do you know? That's not
because I'm an Everton supporter. No longer is the Merseyside derby of any importance in the world.
Yeah, that has been disappointing, to be fair.
Exactly.
A bit one-sided.
And that's what the North London derby is going to be.
Imagine how funny it would be if Spurs got relegated. So the thing which is where I'm slightly...
Hang on. This is the point that you were saying, wasn't it?
No. So my point was they wanted their own team to lose so a rival club couldn't win the league. Okay. Whereas what I'm saying, Spurs getting relegated doesn't affect Arsenal in any way. We've taken our rightful 6 points from them this season. They can go and get relegated. That'd just be funny. It doesn't affect my club in any way.
Yes, it does. That's your closest. That's your derby. That's your North London derby.
If Arsenal are playing Liverpool and if we beat Liverpool, it will help Spurs win the league. I'd never want Arsenal to lose the game. I wouldn't want.
No, but you should not want Tottenham to get relegated. That's the problem I'm saying, is that you are just as toxic as all of those other fans that go, yeah, I want to see my rivals get relegated. And then you go, oh, you don't want to see your derby anymore? Oh, no, I do want to see the derby. Well, you can't.
Well,
and that's exactly what I said with Coops. And Coops was smart enough to say that he didn't want to see his rival get relegated. He said he wanted to see them play at least twice every year, home and away. And that is what a football fan should be. You should want to have a close rival to actually compete with you.
By the way, Spurs were just an honorary mention. It's getting quite personal now.
Yeah, I don't know why. This is like the second or third week in a row where I've defended Tottenham. I don't really know why.
You're in defence for them now, remember? You're actually literally, they need you at the back.
Yeah, I've always supported underdogs, haven't I? So maybe that's why.
Yeah, you've got a soft spot for the weaklings. Yep.
Everton fan, what can I say?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as we started doing well, it's like, a bit bored of them now.
Yeah. What about you, Dan? Who's your honourable mention before you get into your top 3 worst fan bases, supporters, that sort of thing? Who's your honourable mention?
I hate to follow suit, but I would say probably Liverpool fans.
Only an honourable mention for Liverpool fans. They're not in your top.
No.
Most...
No. I have more. I have ones I dislike more.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah, for reasons that will be made clear.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think Liverpool fans, just because they're just very loud and obnoxious and frustrating people.
And it's got nothing to do with them being your closest rivals to titles. And
I mean, that's definitely exactly all it is because there's an honorary mention. But in my defence, in terms of defending my bias here, they are not in my top 3 because I've put that to one side. This is just an honorary mention.
Good defence, I don't think, but okay.
I mean, that's what James did with Tottenham as well, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Do I have to defend Liverpool?
No, it's fine.
I mean, they are the ones, they're world famous for, You'll Never Walk Alone.
And they're proud of that, by the way. You'll never walk alone. They sing the song and all this type of thing. And then as soon as the player like Trent or Michael Owen or anyone else wants to leave, you're not allowed, we don't like you, they'll walk on their own then.
Yeah.
Arne Slot was like Jesus last year. He could do whatever he wanted, turn water into wine. He's the greatest manager, blah, 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 blah. And then this year, they won him out. He won the league last year. First of all, it was Liverpool fans don't sack managers. We don't want to sack managers that have won the league the season before. Well, suddenly it's all against him now, isn't it?
Also, they haven't had the need to sack a manager that wins the league because they didn't win the league until Klopp. And then
like
Klopp
30
left.
years.
Yeah, exactly. That's like Everton saying, we don't sack managers that win the league.
No.
It's because we haven't won one.
Yeah. But this is the thing, like, for me, Liverpool fans, they are in my top 3. They're my third place. So just where you mentioned it, Dan, I might as well say this now. They're my third most... they're the third worst supporters, in my opinion.
Third worst supporters.
I think they're loud. They think they're the victims of everything. And then the whole "you'll never walk alone" thing that I mentioned. That should be you will sometimes walk alone if you get on the other side of us.
Yeah, for me, the biggest sacrilege for Liverpool is that they didn't use the word slot enough. They should have called the team like the slot machine or something. But they use none of that.
No, true.
It's
like when
name.
Man City... Yeah, they like Man City don't really use that Haaland song. I think they should use that every time he scores.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
An entire stadium singing that. Imagine
that would create a great atmosphere, and let's be honest, Man City, they lack an atmosphere. So
exactly, they need it.
They need it exactly.
It's true.
Are we going on to the Man City fans now?
We could do. I'd give another honourable mention. They're not in my top 3.
But
there's not enough of them. There's not enough of them, I don't think.
I was going to say, I generally forgot about them. I'd feel like it would be quite harsh as well. I feel like we'd be ganging up on them because there's such a few amount,
Yeah, few number, but yeah.
I had to correct Dan last week when you weren't here, sir. So
But to be honest, with the Liverpool fans, I would say they have got the kind of tradition, and they've got the "you'll never walk alone" and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The people that they're against, Michael Owen, Trent, and everything, that is definitely wrong. And I don't care what any Liverpool fans say, they are definitely wrong to turn their backs on people like Trent. They should always think, you know what, thanks very much, Trent, for what you did, and we are going to support how you do at Real Madrid, because it's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going
we can understand that you've won everything with us, and you'll never walk alone. We're behind you.
It's not like he's going to Man United.
No, exactly.
It's Real, and they say, but Real Madrid are our closest European rivals. No, they're not. Real Madrid probably don't even know how to spell Liverpool.
No, that's true. But this is, I just think they feel they're the victims of everything, which I know there's been tragedies in their past, and that deserves to be respected, and I absolutely understand that. But they also feel like the Premier League's against them. They boo the Premier League anthem. They boo the Champions League anthem.
I heard that Scousers don't call themselves British or something.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I just like the quote. Like I've heard Liverpool fans say, we don't sack a manager who, they won the Premier League last season, and suddenly they're all against Slot. So they're just the same as any other fan base. They're just hypocritical. But the fact that they hang on to that "you'll never walk alone" thing, I think the fact that they use that as their badge.
For me,
they sometimes walk alone.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that
it's not
clip?
Really it doesn't chime, does it? You'll sometimes walk alone.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on that.
Have you seen the clip of all the Liverpool fans in the disabled area when a goal goes in, and like 2 or 3 of them stand up and start celebrating from their wheelchairs?
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
100%. No, it's like, because obviously they're like
this is United propaganda.
No, they're on like benefits.
Yeah.
I'll find the clip and send it to you guys in the week in the WhatsApp group. I'm telling you now, it's a real thing.
Yeah. For me, I would say honourable mentions. It's probably a few clubs, but for the same reason, you've got Millwall, and I think you know why, and also Celtic and Rangers. They're the kind of clubs where it's so easy to be passionate about those clubs, and I honour that. I'm fine with that. But then to go down the route of being violent,
Yeah, and so many
It's-
fan bases have been involved with that, but it just is.
I think the
ridiculous.
worst, if you say the three worst in Britain, I would say it's Celtic, Rangers, and Millwall. I can't really think of any other that's like that take it as far as them. You know, like with Millwall, where they have to have the fencing when you walk into the stadium. You literally can't trust your own fans from attacking the opposition fans.
Well, this is without just from observations and things like that. When I was watching Bristol City and stuff, I was a season ticket holder down there. When Millwall came to town, there'd be a much larger police presence. It seemed, because they just know what they're looking. They look for fights and things like that. Or so that was the rumor, and that was the kind of stories that went with it. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys decided to choose honourable mentions for your closest rivals. But I decided to actually go down the route of violence because I don't think that's right to have in football, guys.
And that's not what supporters should be doing either.
You know what? So. I've got my honorary mention is you, Seth. That's my honorary mention.
As the worst fan.
I'm so unbiased and so pro peace and so anti violence. I'm a real.
It sounds like those
man.
what are those international women like special award people? What are they called?
International women.
What's that? Peace Prize? What are they called? Like the.
You sound like as if like a vegan would be a football fan. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, well, I didn't choose Liverpool, partly because Liverpool probably forgot about us already anyway. But still, I didn't choose just the closest rival. I want to fix football properly,
You chose Everton because when you went into Holland and Barrett's, the first person you saw had an Everton top on.
Do you guys have Primrose Oil? Oh,
is that what vegans do? They just go to Holland and Paris. Well, there we are. We've got some food for thought there on what would make the worst supporter, worst fan base. But we haven't got to our top threes yet, so we'll get to those in a moment after the break. But first, here is a half-time head scratcher.
Good evening. It's time for another half-time head scratcher. Footballers these days are fantastic actors, able to feign injury so convincingly they could be nominated for an Olivier. But which football hardman took a different approach to acting, finding a new career after his football one ended in Tinseltown, featuring in films including X-Men, Last Stand and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? I'll tell you all after the break. Hello, before the break, I asked you for your half-time head scratcher to name the footballer turned actor who appeared in films such as X-Men Last Stand and Locked, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. The answer? Vinnie the Axe Jones. It's fair to say, if he was still playing today, the opposition would very much look like extras in Saving Private Ryan.
Cheers, Coopy. I wonder where he'd sit on the whole thing, being a Chelsea fan that recently he's said anyway, I'm not even sure I like Chelsea anymore. So I wonder where he'd sit on the fence with all of this.
Yeah, I mean, he's more of a Stoke fan probably now, isn't he?
Now, yeah. He was, when I first met him, he was very Chelsea heavy, I must say. He loved them, like he does Stoke. But yeah, he's kind of he's looked a bit more disillusioned.
Yeah, now that Chelsea's not winning anything, I suppose. Yeah. So he's gone to Stoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
much better choice. So yeah, let's get into our top threes then, shall we? The top three worst fan bases, worst supporters in football, not just the Premier League, we'll say, shall we?
Yeah.
So, Sash, you want to start us off? Who was your third place?
Right. I'm going to go down the route of kind of the violence, like I mentioned with Millwall and all those clubs. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say Galatasaray.
Ooh, yeah, they're in international football news quite a lot.
Yeah, they're always in the news. And Turkish league has to have these nets to stop you from throwing things or to get onto the pitch.
Flares and all sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's just that they're brilliant away supporters. So you see, just 1,000 Galatasaray supporters will be louder than 60,000 of any Premier League team.
Create an atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah, really good atmosphere. And going away to Galatasaray, you saw Liverpool lost, I think, twice over there. So yeah, they're an amazing atmospheric club. However, I think they take it too far.
Yep.
I think they intimidate to the point of being violent, and I think it's not needed. And I think that's the kind of thing that gives football a bad name.
Yeah.
And yet, even though they do it, it's always English fans that are seen to be the hooligans. And I think,
that's a fair point.
yeah, so that's in a lot of aspects. That's the reason why I would put them third. I've got nothing against Galatasaray or the Turkish league or anything like that. I think it's just what they do on occasions is giving football in general a bad name.
Yeah, exactly. That reputation that they sort of have. And that's the thing. I said earlier, a supporter is there to support a team in the good times and the bad. That's clearly a key criteria. But another one is to actually, know where the line is between what is support versus just violence and just, you're a bad person, basically.
Yeah, because the players, we always say, don't we, that players are a representation or a model for the club.
For the club, yeah.
But the fans also are as well. If you choose to be a supporter, you choose to wear the badge or have the flag, the kit, anything like that, you are already representing that club. Yeah. And then if you are violent, then you are doing it in the name of that club and you are bringing them into disrepute. And I think that's the kind of thing I don't like.
Yeah, exactly. We've looked at toxic fans on previous episodes, haven't we? And we've sort of said how people behave. They always, if bad people want to be violent, they will. They just put a reason for it, whether it's religion or any other thing. And that's what some football fans do. And it's often a minority, and it gives football and a certain club a bad name.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably Millwall falling into that trap. It might be that Millwall, as I'm saying, might be. They're a football club, right?
Yeah.
They're not violent as a football club, but some of the fan base has been shown to be.
Yeah.
And suddenly we've all got that, feel the reputation of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yeah,
and it gets taught generationally. They teach the next generation. This is how we act as fans.
The code of our club or whatever it is, and it becomes associated with it. And that's where a good supporter will be doing what's in the best interest of that club, which would be to create an atmosphere, be positive, but not to be violent and not give your club a bad name.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice shout.
What about you, Dan? What's your number 3?
On the same, I hope I've got this right, but in the same ilk as what you say, I went for Maccabi Haifa because. Are they the
right? Okay.
Maccabi Haifa.
Was it Maccabi Haifa? I might be
isn't
wrong.
Isn't that a burger at McDonald's?
No,
I thought it was a cereal.
What was who was the team that got the fans got banned for racism? I thought it was Maccabi Haifa. A European game. The fans were banned from the next game for really bad racism, like throwing bottles and bananas and skins and stuff at Sterling. I think it was 2-3 years ago.
Oh wow! I remember
it was
Sterling
really
got
bad
a lot a few years back.
Yeah, I can't.
There's been quite a few clubs, and even national team supporters have been banned. And there was a thing where England went away to play a few years ago. Do you remember? Oh, it was actually closer than that. It was more recently, in the last year or something like that. And they were racist to the England players, and they had to take the players off the pitch.
Was it Albania?
Yeah.
Was that Albania or Armenia?
It might well have been. Yeah,
one of those two. Oh God!
Talking about racism.
Oh God, it's so bad, isn't it?
Jesus,
it's so bad. I can't.
We're all as bad at one another.
I just can't remember. I'm not saying they're all the same. I just can't remember which one it was.
Jesus. Yeah, it begins with A anyway.
Yeah.
Could be Andorra, could be Algeria.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was Maccabi Haifa because they also had that big thing with Aston Villa this year as well, didn't they? There was this big thing with Villa. I think the game was almost banned or something. It was almost postponed, but
especially for these kind of smaller teams, it ends up becoming the reputation of the club, doesn't it? Because the only time you hear about them is this kind of news headline. Otherwise we don't really know about them.
Exactly. There's no news apart from bad news type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I want more than a top 3, to be honest, because I've got other honourable mentions I want to bring in now as well. As you're saying all that stuff, Dan.
Yeah.
I've already given my third place being Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, of course you did. Yeah.
Yeah, but I might sort of throw Real Madrid out there as well in terms of their fans and some of the stuff they've done. But I hate that club so much. They're, awful for football. I don't want to talk about them much more.
They're actually my number 2.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
do you want to go into your number 2 then?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's less to do with the whole racism or anything. I think, because they are so entitled. Look at what happened with the Ballon d'Or in the last couple of years. They literally boycotted the Ballon d'Or because Vinicius Junior didn't win.
Or Rafinha isn't in the top 5 for the next one, and so they're just.
Well, Rafinha is a Barcelona player.
Okay, you can edit this.
No, we're keeping this in. But that's the thing. Like in that Ballon d'Or, when Vinicius came second, Real Madrid won more trophies at the Ballon d'Or, like Team of the Year and Manager of the Year and all that stuff, than any other club. And yet they still boycotted because Vinicius didn't win the Ballon d'Or.
They were against second. Rodri, who is Spanish as well. You think, they could support a national icon and stuff.
Yeah.
But nope.
Yeah, and they've got such a high... I don't know. They have got prestige, but they seem so privileged that they can just demand so many things that other clubs can't. They've taken like more money than any other club from La Liga, and all of the rules that in order to take more money from La Liga than anyone else, and all these things. There's newspapers specifically dedicated to Real Madrid. Again, with the kind of like violence towards their rivals like Barcelona and Atletico.
And by the way, they have been racist to their own players.
Yeah, they have.
So in terms of the fan base, I agree. If we were doing top worst clubs, I would have probably Real Madrid as my number one. But in terms of their fans, they're up there definitely.
Yeah,
but I just
in the Real Madrid fans
haven't put them in my top three.
Are the Real Madrid fans the ones that are all like really wealthy? Is that right? Like there's
that's more like Fulham fans, isn't it?
There's a team that's got loads of like really like high up and like wealthy fan base, and it's like all elite people. I can't remember. I don't know if that's Barcelona or Real Madrid. It's one of the Spanish teams, one of the big Spanish ones, and they're all super elite.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I mean, they are called Real Madrid. With Real means royal, doesn't it? So
yeah. There they are. They're up their own asses, aren't they? Can we say that?
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, certainly I would agree with you. I just because you've got them in your top three, I don't need to also talk about them.
That's true. Yeah. What about you, Dan?
I'm glad you mentioned.
My second. We're on second now, aren't we? My second, and you'll quite like this. Well, maybe you'll like. Maybe you won't. Newcastle.
Ooh, interesting. Why is that?
Newcastle fans. One, they have this reputation of like, they've got St James's Park and it's the greatest atmosphere and blah 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 blah. I think it's just a myth, and I think they absolutely perpetuate their own myth, and they just like play on it, and they act like they're this huge club, and they're not.
And they're a huge club for the northeast of England, but that's about it. As long as you don't go like 300 miles south or north, then they're the biggest.
So yes, I think it's the delusion, but also the general like because they are quite aggressive, and the whole Geordie, like topless Geordie in the crowd thing. I
know what you mean, and also I mean they've been relegated twice from the Prem. Just Prem
in our lifetime,
and they've had owners like Mike Ashley. They've made terrible decisions.
Yeah, definitely. As a club, they've made a lot of mistakes, and I think they made a lot of bad decisions, and now they're owned by a country that seems to have, there's a country that has a lot of controversy associated with it, for example, and Newcastle now associated with that. I don't particularly blame the fans. I think, for me, Newcastle fans they tick a lot of boxes for being supporters. They'll support their club as much as any other fan base I can see. Like, they're very passionate. They'll go away from home, create a great atmosphere. They tick a lot of positive boxes for me.
They do, yeah, but I think they take it a bit far, don't they? Thinking that they're one of the top clubs.
Yeah, I think most fan bases have some element of delusion.
Yeah. That whole argument, who's the bigger club, and they usually compare Newcastle with Everton and say, who's the bigger club? And I told you guys before, like, I could not care less. Why is it that
it doesn't matter?
Most of the time you hear Newcastle fans saying that as well. I don't really hear Everton fans coming out and go, oh, we're a bigger club than Newcastle. Newcastle seem to want to come out and try and prove themselves.
100%.
Force their way into the conversation unnecessarily.
They're overcompensating. They're overcompensating. Everton fans don't come
really
up and say that because they are just the bigger club. They don't have to say anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I never really have to try and defend Everton, partly because I don't care, but also because most people just go, no, it's obviously Everton. And I only really ever hear Newcastle fans saying that Newcastle are the bigger ones.
So yeah, I kind of I allow that in a sense. So I agree with Dan.
You
that-
allow that.
I'll
You
allow
allow-
Thanks very much.
I'm so grateful that you allow my opinion. I'm
No, in
so
terms of-
happy
It's
that
what the
you're
kids say.
allowing
You
me
can
to
have
have
your
an
opinion
opinion.
this time.
Thank you
So
so
old.
much.
Down with the kids. Look, down with the kids. They say, "Oh yeah, I'll allow that." Yeah, like I agree with it. It's like a phrase. It's
You're
what the kids say.
down with the kids.
Down with the kids.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, in terms of how Newcastle fans want to force themselves into the conversation of something they're not,
Yeah.
onto the table where, in a room where they're not actually welcome. So
Yeah,
I get that. So I'd allow it in that sense. I agree with it in that sense. My number two, can I give my number two?
Go for it.
You
My
can.
number two are Man United fans.
Ooh.
For similar reasons as what you said to Real Madrid fans.
Entitled.
I think they're the
I
most
find-
entitled fans in the Premier League by far.
I find this
They
highly
think they're going to win the
offensive.
league every single season.
Highly offensive.
Most of them are.
I don't know a single Man
Look,
United fan
this
that
is
thought
my
we were
time
going
to
to win the
talk.
league ever.
I've shared
like-
some earlier this season on the pod. We see it in the fan groups all the time.
No.
Those mocking ones.
No,
Yeah.
real United fans.
Yeah,
sort of saying,
right.
You'll find one absolute nutter United fan, and you'll be like, "Yep, see, they're all like that."
Yeah, that's like saying, "Oh yeah, Ty, we don't take seriously as an Arsenal fan." Oh, it's surprising that
Yeah.
all of a sudden, as soon as someone like Ty comes out
Look,
with ridiculousness,
every fan base has idiots. I get that, but
Yeah.
United, like growing up in this country with United winning everything, suddenly everyone supports Man United. You know, everyone at school are Man United fans everywhere,
Right.
and they're the ultimate glory supporters. Everyone
Well, not
in
now.
my class.
That contradicts
Apart
what
from
you
you who
said.
supported
you
Everton.
Said, you said the issue
Yeah.
is that we're entitled. So how can we be entitled and glory supporters?
But that's where you are now.
We
Because
can't
you
be
haven't been
both.
winning the league. Dan, you've got to let me say my argument. You can't just try and present loads of noise so no one hears why you're the second worst fan base. So,
why? Like the absolute
yes, it is. And most people will agree with me, I'm sure. So, United fans are so entitled because of the glory days when they spent more money than anyone else and won more than anyone else in the league since the Premier League started. They think that every player's ever played for them is the best ever. They've got the best ever manager. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, don't just gloss over all the times he used to intimidate referees and all that type of stuff, and he would like be in the news having a go, playing mind games with other managers, insulting
I thought you
them,
were going to
being
say something in there.
disrespectful.
Be in the news.
So do you not
Just
do you not
They're
think
just a
Alex
horrible club.
Ferguson is the best manager in Premier League history?
Well, he probably thinks second best after Arsene Wenger
Oh, of
So-
course, yeah, because he's clearly
or
the
Mikel
best.
Arteta.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
I'm not just listing all the reasons why it's a horrible club. But in terms of the glory supporters, a lot of their fans are not living in Manchester. In terms of a lot of their fans, I know they're global. In terms of
You're an Arsenal fan, right?
as loads of these.
You live in.
So
do you live in London, James?
Dan lives in London. He supports Man United. His whole family. Spending my time down, you think I'd go and say, oh, they're such a lovely family. I could only talk to his mum because the rest of them were so deluded and glory seeking. His dad would be winding me up all the time. Luke would be winding me up all the time. Tom would be winding me up all the time. And saying such rubbish as well. So, but I think partly because of the Barron family,
It's personal.
they are my
Yeah.
number 2 worst fan base.
But by the way, you mean Barron family as in Dan Barron, rather than a family that's like infertile.
Yes, in terms of the Barron name family.
Yeah.
Had some great times, but ultimately it's been tainted by some horrible Man United experiences. So
Wow.
if you're listening, Tom, yeah, there you go.
Wow. I mean, I would like to say, as the neutral, because you're attacking Dan, as the neutral, firstly, I do agree that, there's so many United fans. Come on. Like, when I moved to the UK and everyone was a United fan, everyone was
Glory
a David
supporters.
Beckham fan. Glory supporters, exactly. And
We're
I say,
not now,
I would
are
say the
we?
same for,
We're not now.
No, but I would say the same for Arsenal fans because all of a sudden there were so many Arsenal fans when they were winning things. James, when did you start supporting? Oh, when they were winning things. So I would say those
We didn't
people
win
are
much in 1995, which is roughly when I started supporting Arsenal, actually.
roughly, exactly.
Roughly.
You were at least the second most successful team in the league that time.
Maybe.
I mean, we may have won loads of leagues before and after, but So I would say, in terms of glory supporters, yes, Man United fans, there's a lot of them. This
And now they have the
argument-
entitlement because now they expect to be winning it every single year, and all the fans are absolutely furious. And
I
Not-
would
I'm
say
sorry.
that actually United fans are the least expecting to win the league at the moment.
Thank you, Seth.
Well, not from what I've been seeing on our socials.
Well, yeah,
Oh
but
my God.
that's because you just look at those one or two. You scroll through hundreds of these things saying like, "Oh, we're not going to win the league," and you're like, "Oh, there's one."
I'm the marketing guy. I'm exposed to all of our fans and all the
Oh,
groups we're associated
James.
with on the socials. I see these idiots.
Yeah,
That's like me using, like you said earlier on, Seth. That's like me using Ty as a representation of Arsenal fans. It's
Yeah,
just
completely.
not
Which you do, by the way.
realistic. No, I do not.
Do we?
Yes, you
How many videos do I show
I
you
do
of
not.
deluded Arsenal fans?
I use you as
Oh,
a
yeah,
barometer of Arsenal fans, James, and you're nuts.
That is true. Absolute mental case. I love these Arsenal fans that they all started going quiet about the whole quadruple thing when they started getting knocked out of tournaments. You know,
Right, Cess. I think it's time for our number ones. I think it's your turn, Cess.
It is, yes, and we touched upon this.
The worst supporters
Yeah.
are...
Arsenal.
Yes,
No.
Seth.
Arsenal fans.
I was going to do
Seriously?
a
100%.
unison thing.
You
I
haven't
wanted to
said
come
that.
in and say it at the same time. Can we do it again? Can we just one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Arsenal.
You both put an Arsenal as your number ones.
Absolutely. We've said this
100%.
all season long. They are the most deluded, worst fans out there with the worst kind of ideas of, call it entitlement if you want, call it delusion, call it the worst, highest expectations, whatever you want to
You
say.
talk about glory supporters. You were only telling us not so long ago you could get tickets nice and easy. You can't get them now. Suddenly Arsenal are doing well because all your fans are glory hunters. Sorry.
That's true, yeah. And how many fans are outside of London? Because you were talking about how many Man United fans are outside of Manchester.
Yeah. 'cause
Most
obviously-
Arsenal fans, I would say, are outside of London.
Because obviously
I've asked for this, haven't I?
Bristol's nice and local to North London, isn't it?
There is... I'm linked to the Bristol Arsenal Supporters Foundation. So there we are.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
that's
that
that
makes
kind
you a
of proving
local
our
then.
point, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say that there's so many fans, Arsenal fans out there, that talk about, oh, Man City spends so much money, Chelsea spends so much money, and conveniently forget the fact that Arsenal has spent basically as much, if not more than them, in the last 5 years.
Yeah. And when
You've won less than Chelsea. You've won less than United.
And when it comes to
Right.
entitlement, you don't have entitlement from winning. You have entitlement from your way of playing. You have this this like football morality compass.
The Arsenal
You're like,
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This like there's this entitlement of morality like this. Like what I called it before, the Highbury horse, didn't I? Where
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
there
the
you go.
Highbury
Yeah.
horse, where you sit on
And
your
you remember
high horse
when
and you're like, this is
I
the right
thought-
way.
Yeah, and I thought James was like, he was more reasonable. So when I joked to him about, have you seen this Arsenal fan that said he would choose Saka over 2012 Messi? And then there's James going, well, you can't just put someone in the team, without you can. 2012 Messi, you absolutely will. I think Mikel Arteta would be willing to literally push Saka off the pitch.
Push him out the room,
Yeah,
out the
and
changing
say,
room.
get lost. We got 2012 Messi, but instead you're like,
Also, to be fair, you've said it yourself. You're sick of your own fans when this Arteta in, Arteta out nonsense that changes
Yeah.
every single week. Like the fickleness is crazy.
that is very true.
You
Yeah,
know?
I think all of the metrics that we were talking about, aside from the violence side, I don't really hear Arsenal being violent or doing
No.
anything like that.
No,
Aside
that's
from
true.
that, I would say in terms of entitlement, privilege, delusion, all of those metrics, I would say Arsenal are absolutely top all of them.
Yeah.
All of those metrics.
Amazing. Well, thanks for sharing, guys. Really, sharing is caring and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No problem. We're happy to carry on if you like. So,
Yeah,
No,
we can
I
do.
think it's
yeah.
time to move on now.
Okay.
Can I give
My-
you my first place?
My,
Oh, yeah. I'm
my
assuming it's
number
Arsenal
one,
as well.
My number one was Spurs, and after his attack on United, I just had to change it instantly.
Wow. So, without further ado, my number one, the worst fan base, are Arsenal fans.
Oh,
do actually agree
well
with us.
Arsenal fans
Touche.
are the worst fan base. I've come to this decision It's a bit like the stages of grief. I've accepted it.
Yeah.
I've been embarrassed. It's disgraceful, some of the stuff I've seen. Arsenal are at the moment one of the best teams in world football. Whether you enjoy the way Arsenal play or not is irrelevant.
Yeah.
We are one of the best
I agree
teams.
with that.
If you look at how we tactically play, the quality of players we have, we are... As I mentioned on a previous episode, actually, what Guillem Balaguer, the Spanish reporter, was talking about Arsenal.
He's a Spanish version of the Oasis singer, isn't he?
Yes, I'm sure I'll get that joke later today.
It sounds like Liam Gallagher.
Oh, I see. And he was saying Arsenal are the reference point for so many teams across Europe, how Arsenal press, how we're organised defensively, and so on. We're brilliant in so many ways, yet our fans are so toxic.
Yeah.
Like, this is not all Arsenal fans. There are some brilliant Arsenal fans out there, but they are crowded out by the noise of the idiots. And I'm fed up. It's just got to the point now where I'm not defending it anymore. I'm embarrassed.
I think Arsenal in general, you've got quite a big social media voice, really, don't you?
We were some of the biggest and I think some of the first fan bases. And because of
usually
that, it gets shared
those
around.
voices are the worst, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not ours, obviously. Ours is fine. But, well, at least 2/3 anyway. The Arsenal. But yeah, I completely agree.
And that's it. I'm embarrassed. All the stuff they did through lockdown, we became known as a banter club, and I kind of overlooked a lot of that. And so I was like, it's only, I don't take it too seriously. But the fact that they're still out there now, even now that we are one of the best sides, right during that period, we weren't very good. So we kind of deserve to be laughed at a bit.
Yeah.
Especially for the money we were spending, the players we had, like Ozil and
I'd
Alexis
go
Sanchez.
as far as to say you're the best at the moment in the league. In the league certainly, but in Europe, I would say, because however much we would mock Arsenal about being knocked out of the League Cup and FA Cup, if you win the Premier League and Champions League, which you are still favourites for, then you'd be as successful as 08 United.
And that is, as I've said, in my opinion,
you'd be more successful than the Invincibles.
Season. Yeah,
one of the best sides I've seen.
Exactly. Just winning the league, you'd be as successful as the Invincibles.
That's a good point. If you do win Champions League and the Premier League, where do you rank that Arsenal team versus the Invincibles?
Well, ask me that question after we've done it.
Well, I mean, this is another delusional thing that I mentioned about James, is that he thinks the Invincibles are the greatest domestic side of all time.
Yeah.
Not just in the league, but in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I haven't finished explaining
when
why
you say
Arsenal
the
are the worst
Invincibles,
fans.
sorry, do you mean Preston North End of like 19?
No, I think he means by Leverkusen or maybe Juventus.
Oh, yes.
Did Juventus go unbeaten?
Yeah, in like 2012, but they don't go on about it like other people.
So, let me finish my point. So, we've mentioned the social media clowns and stuff like that. There are some very good social media pages of Arsenal. There's some really good ones out there.
Yeah.
But you don't seem to hear them. They don't get the same headlines, obviously. All the minority, the idiots' views are kind of shouted because they're controversial and stupid. And it is embarrassing. But what made me realise that we are the worst fan base? So, we're playing Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League, right? We've just knocked them out, so now Arsenal go through to the semi-finals. In the first leg against Sporting Lisbon, we beat them over there 1-0. They hadn't lost in for months across all the Champions League, in their own league. They're scoring hundreds of goals. We kept a clean sheet and we scored in the last few minutes to win. All I'm seeing across Arsenal channels, by the way, are negative, Arteta out, that was boring. So as a supporter, you support your team whether you win, lose, draw, whatever. We won. And not only that, they're saying Arteta out. And we've spoken about this on previous episodes, how it's Arteta out every time we lose a game. What he's done with where we were when he inherited Arsenal is remarkable. He's been fantastic. And I'm just embarrassed.
It just took a short 6 years and £1 billion. But look where you are now.
So after every defeat, it's Arteta out, and it's ridiculous. So it's disgraceful, it's disrespectful, moronic behaviour from people who clearly don't understand how Arsenal are controlling games, how we're playing, all that type of thing. So
loud voices of these, not just entitled fans, but these idiot fans that when they say, would you put Saka in the Barcelona MSN? And they go, maybe over Neymar. What are you talking about? And they say, what about over Prime BBC? You know, the Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano Ronaldo. And they were like, maybe over Bale because Benzema and Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or. Are you absolutely outside of your mind? Like, in no way would you pick Saka over peak Neymar or Bale, and yet they try and find these ways to fit their players in. the kind of defence that Arsenal fans have over Victor Gyökeres. Instead of saying, yeah, that is quite embarrassing. Like, we thought he was going to be a lot more than, we expected him to score. What was it? He scored 90-something goals in 90-something games, and he was, like, dominant and all these things. And he comes in, and it looks like he'll tear an ACL by doing his shoelaces. And yet they will still defend him. Oh, yeah, but he scored 2 goals against Burnley. Oh, great. That's great.
Yeah, well, yeah. See, that's the thing.
The way you never want to say a single bad word about Gyökeres. You're always like, whoa, he scored a penalty 2 weeks ago.
He did score a penalty 2 weeks ago. Just because he scored a penalty against Everton, you don't have to be so bitter. Okay? But the thing is, I don't mind that. As a supporter, I think they're allowed to kind of big up their players and be a bit biased and that sort of stuff. It's wrong. We've corrected it. We fixed it on this podcast.
I think it's wrong to be biased at all.
I know.
I think you can support and still be realistic.
True. Yep. And I can accept that, but that's not what makes the worst supporters for me. What makes the worst supporters is not supporting your team, even when you're winning.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That is awful. So for the reason that it's actually making me look bad by association, Arsenal are crowned as the worst fan base, worst supporters in football.
As said by James Hammett on the 18th of April 2026.
Speaking about annoying colleagues that I regret that I have to work with, I think it's time to get into some of John's fantasy football tips.
Juicy.
I'd like to support your tips, John.
John's Juicy Tips.
Yeah.
Alright. Who are the worst fans in football? Well, that's easy. Any fan who complains about not winning a trophy in a few years. They should try being a Bristol City fan. Anyway, it's blank game week in FPL, so you need to get rid of your Man City and Chelsea assets and get these players in your teams. In defence, for the first time this year, I'm backing a Spurs player. It's Pedro Porro. He scored 1 today, and he should have scored more. Plus, they got Wolves up next. In midfield, it's hard to look past Morgan Gibbs-White for Forest. He scored 6 goals in his last 6 games, and they've got Sunderland up next. And up front, it's that man again. It's the Southwest's finest goal machine. It's Ollie Watkins for Villa. He scored 5 goals and got an assist in his last 4 games for the club. So, he's a must in your team. Juicy.
Well, Fantasy Premier League is back, and, it is, what can I say, getting interesting. The last few games left in the season, loads to fight for. John is still top. Our guru is still top of the league.
He's still clutching onto his role, isn't he? He knows that he's going to get sacked immediately if he's second.
But you know what's even more interesting is Cess and I are battling it out for 20th and 21st place.
The most important of positions.
Yeah,
bang in the middle.
There's about 3 points between us.
That's quite cool, isn't it? After 32 games or whatever, we're only a couple of points. It just shows complete luck, really, isn't it?
It's not luck, it's absolute knowledge.
Is it?
That's why Dan is stone dead last so far. And we need to figure out what his forfeit is going to be. My suggestion is to be a full kit plonker and have to wear his, maybe a rival fan. Who's his worst? Arsenal. He could wear an Arsenal kit and
with Bergkamp on the back.
I don't know if he's worthy. But, and go and do a proper stretch off and run around in public and that sort of stuff.
That's true, yeah. And like proper boots as well, so you've got a clip back all the way.
Shin pads and all that, yeah, do it in central London somewhere.
Yeah,
that's where you are being a Man
You've got to have
fan.
like proper knees up, like 1950s, and here they come.
Exactly. If you have any suggestions on what Dan's forfeit would be, because let's face it, he is going to lose.
Yeah.
Then let us know. If you'd like to join our league, and this is still time, by the way, and your points to be transferred across, you can enter with the code SD4GZV and see if you have what it takes. Well, there we are, lads. It's been quite a therapeutic episode. Getting a lot off our chests there. What do you reckon?
Well, we've done it for like the whole season.
Yeah.
Just me having to go at Arsenal.
You have just, to be honest, you've just said the same stuff you say every week. To be honest.
Yeah.
Just a whole episode dedicated to it. So.
I've just had that epiphany where I've realised after that away win, that brilliant away 1-0 win away to a tough Sporting Lisbon.
You say you realised. we have been saying this for the whole season.
Yeah,
You've
but-
just finally agreed with us.
Everyone knows you talk rubbish. So
Do you know what this feels
really,
like?
what
This
we've
feels
learned-
like, you know, in a cartoon when someone comes up with the idea and it's like, no, you're talking rubbish. I know what we'll do. And they say the exact same thing. This feels like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
He's trying to take credit, you know. When we've said Arsenal fans are the worst, and he's like, no, we're victims. Yeah, that's what we are.
Yeah. So, well, what we've determined is that to be a good supporter, to be a good fan, you actually support your club in the good times and the bad. You are not going to be discriminatory. You're not going to be violent. You know where the line is. You'll support your team in the good times and the bad, right? So you're going to be supporting your team. Even when you win games away from home, you're not going to be manager out, shall we say.
They're not only fans.
So,
Well, I don't think owning fans has anything to do with it.
I won't have you say anything negative about OnlyFans.
But I do also say that when it comes to like bad fans or toxic fans, I don't know how you want to say it, you also have to remember that 2012 Messi is better than Saka.
Well,